We'd go up on this hill, and at the very top, you could actually oversee where we were. Mm-hmm. There was a mosque, and the mosque would be playing, I guess, whatever the mosque plays. I don't know what kind of music I would call it. But there was these children riding on the camel. And I think that was the most memorable moment. And in the distance, there was these oil, I don't know, flames burning. So it must have been oil just burning off or whatnot. And just endless amounts of camel just running around. So. To me, every place you go, there's beauty in everything. And to see a child on the camel just reminds me of, growing up in Hawaii in a sense. Of course, not the same setting, but just the childhood, the children there playing with the camels and everything. So it just reminded me of back home.
There was one guy who was living in the middle of this war zone. When we were getting attacked every day, our little patrol base, and everybody around us seemed like was Taliban. This one guy had his family, and he was living no neighbors on either side of him, in the middle of this war zone. And he would send his kids up to our base and tell us, hey, the Taliban are planting bombs over here. And his kids would come out and point out, yep, I saw there's a bomb here, this wasn't like this yesterday. Sure enough, there'd be an IED. So you feel like, okay, well, this guy obviously isn't Taliban, so he's on our side. And there are people that we're helping.
So it's those things that you it triggers memories back in your mind that remind you of what happened there in Iraq in the war zone. And I still struggle with it today. Mm-hmm. Certain things. Sometimes I can't be around so many people that I'll just walk away, or because sometimes you can't talk to your family about it because they don't understand. And it's actually best to talk to veterans who've been in that type of war setting, because they can kind of relate and you can bounce off of each other.
Yeah, no cheating.
So tonight I want to relax. I'm going to Elton John concert.
Nice.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah, taking my 1.5-year-old daughter to go be her first concert. We got her these headphones to try to cut down on the noise, but I think she'll enjoy it.
But Sean, he's huge. If he doesn't know the answer, you ask him a simple question about, he's the one who referred me over to the psychiatrist itself. So.
Like today, I was down at Bitterroot College, and there was a guy who had no idea. He separated from active duty in 2004, had no idea he was eligible for VA education benefits, and so been working with him since January. Turns out he's 100% eligible for the post 9/11 GI Bill. He had a full ride and didn't even know it, essentially, So today he was literally like cheering in the hallway. I thought he was going to break out and start skipping, because he's like so excited that he's got something to go for.
Just graduated in May, so I've been working at the Forest Service over at Fort Missoula. Yeah, it's a cool gig. I like the Forest Service a lot.
We can go out to nature, we can go fish, we can go hunting, we can go hiking, and we can find that solitude that we're really looking for. We have 8 people that are using VA education benefits that also work in the office and that are college students. We all are like-minded in that we're looking out for each other, right? Not just each other, but looking out for every person who comes in that door, whether they're a veteran or a family member using VA benefits.
I decided these internal conversations I had with myself after I got out, the first few months I got out, I was like, what did I really get out of that? I guess you get the GI Bill, which is great. It's a phenomenal resource. But just the sense of perspective of, you've got it pretty good, Tyler. You've got it pretty good. It could be a lot worse.
was a insurgent attack on a convoy that was doing an order, I forget what they call it, an operation, and a few of them came back deceased. Standing there, watching these soldiers, you know, in their coffins and the flags draped over. I think that was one of the moments that struck me, being, I think, appreciating life at that moment, and, you know, for them sacrificing their life going on the base, out of the base, you know, not only for me, but the Americans here in America, and people all over the world. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.